2 years ago, my mom asked me a very, very intimidating question. Ian, do you have a crush? And as every 15-year-old boy would have reacted, I was pretty terrified. But if I had to give you a complete, honest answer, my answer would have been no. And that's only because I didn't have someone in my life that I found compatible. But I looked at things such as MBTI types and astrology, only to find that what I was looking for wasn't there. That was when a friend of mine reminded me of love languages and their importance in successful relationships. So here it goes. These are love languages. So in no particular order, Dr. Gary Chapman says there are 5 different kinds of love languages. Words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So let's go through each one and really get to know a little bit about each love language. So first is words of affirmation. It's all about our verbal communication, whether it's saying things like, I love you, or I'm so sorry. What we say can mean a lot. In Proverbs 18:21, King Solomon tells us that the tongue has the power of life and death. So it's important that we use our words to build each other up rather than tear each other down. Next is physical touch. When it comes to physical touch, it's all about the arms around the shoulders, the holding hands, and even the kissing. Shh, don't tell anyone I said it. But it's true. When it comes to physical touch, Dr. Gary Chapman says, when we reach out with a tender touch, we create an emotional closeness, and a relationship can be born. So when you give people a pat on the back, a hug, you do so much more than you realize. Next is quality time. When it comes to quality time, they really love their dates, whether it's going out somewhere special, or even just staying in and having a nice cup of coffee. For people whose love language is quality time, they really love when you're willing to engage in the conversation, ask questions, learn more. When you ask someone whose love language is quality time to hang out or do a devotional together, you might be doing something that means the world to them. Next is acts of service. The special thing about acts of service is that Dr. Gary Chapman says this. The thing that made me feel most loved by my parents was the things that they did for me. And that was washing dishes, cleaning the house, doing the chores, feeding me. For them, it's not about the verbal communication. Everyone loves to hear I love you, and I'm so sorry. But for them, action speaks louder than words. Now, last, but certainly not least, is receiving gifts. Now, receiving gifts is so awesome because receiving gifts is so special because when it comes to receiving gifts, they love to get their gifts. No, everyone loves to get their gifts. Whether it's Christmas, your birthday, you love to get something special. But for them, they see the love in the gift you give them. That can be a car, your action figure, your princess doll. I love my princess doll. But for them, the love really comes in the gift, whether it's big or small. When you get someone who's receiving a gift, you make them feel like a princess. Now, this can all be very, very confusing. I bet you're thinking, Ian, this is all very, very confusing. So, let me just take off a couple pieces, right? That's probably the best way to go about it. Does that look better? I think I'm moving the wrong. No. Does it look better now? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of it. I'm so sorry. I just put some of those pieces back. Do you see it now? How about now? Well, thanks, guys. Love was never meant to be simple. But the one thing we can know is that God has called us to love. As God called us to love, as as he has loved us. So it's important that we're willing to take that extra step, learn a little bit about someone else's love language, so that you can show them love the way God has showed us. In 1 Corinthians 13:13 it says this: these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these